Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Wow, I switched it up. So today is the question of the day, but it's going to be questions of the day rather than one question. And they're all pertaining to God. I'm trying to not let the cat tail get burnt. So do you believe in God? Do you believe that you have a soul? Do you believe that there's a battle for your soul between God and Satan? Do you um think God sees everything, hears everything, knows your heart, knows your mind, your thoughts? Do you think God cares what you choose to label yourself, like Republican, Democrat, gay, bi, whatever? Do you think God cares about what you label yourself? That's your label. That's not God's label. Okay, so if you believe in a soul, right? Oh, wait, I'm stepping ahead of myself here. Okay, so do you think it matters to God what your skin color is, whether it's brown, black, purple with pink polka dots, red with yellow stripes, black and white checkerboard? Do you think that matters to God, or do you think the soul matters? This here, this is just a shell that's keeping. You know what your body is. It's, as far as I can see, it is an anchor so that you can have the human experience. Your soul can have the human experience. Your soul doesn't have a color, doesn't have a label. It's your soul. It doesn't, it isn't black or white or brown or, there's nothing. It's just your soul. So, why do people choose to label themselves? I didn't really actually want to put that one in this one, but that's okay. I have so many questions. So many questions. So, do you think that God cannot decipher who is the victim, who is the victimizer, and who has the victim mentality? God sees everything, right? Knows everything. So, when somebody is spitting in the face of a stranger, who do you think the victim is there? Do you think the person spitting or the person being victimized by the spitter? Or how about, how do you think God sees somebody destroying? I keep getting text messages. How about, do you think that if someone deliberately sets out to destroy someone else's car, who do you think the victim is there? Is the victim the person whose car is destroyed, or the victimizer who's destroying the car? Do you think that God doesn't know what people have been through? Do you think that God is going to harshly judge someone who's been through so much that they finally snap and lose it? Or do you think they're going to judge the person that tormented them harshly? There's a lot to think about, and I think this week's questions are, how do you want God to see you? Like, what do you want God to think about you? Like, are you a victim? Are you a victimizer? Do you have the victim mentality? God can see through it all. God can see through lies very well. God can see through lies. God knows what's in your heart. God sees what's going on. So, when you deliberately set out to destroy another human being, because you feel like you were the victim, even though you were the victimizer, pretty much. I mean, everybody has a reason for doing things, right? But if you're deliberately setting out to harm another person, that's, do you think that's God or Satan? Like, seriously, do you think that is God or Satan? God tells us to, like, the second most important commandment is to love your neighbor. So, is that love? Beating on someone because of their color or because of the clothes they wear? Or maybe we're just living in a godless society right now. I wonder sometimes, like, what does God think when he looks down on this planet? Does he think Satan is running amok? Does he think I need a reset button? Do you think maybe COVID is a reset button? I think a lot, obviously, as you can tell. See, I don't care what people think of me. I really don't. Because in the end, it's not going to matter what people think of me. What's going to matter is God. What God thinks of me, not people. So, here's the other thing. You're not supposed to judge, right? But yet, so many people will go to church on Sunday and walk out of church and immediately start talking about the person in front of them or next to them, or did you see that? That's gossip. Do you think that's godly, or do you think that's Satan taking over? So many questions. I don't know. It's like, I think we're living in the end of times, quite honestly. When you look around at everything that is going on, I know, now with the internet we see more, but, there's locusts, crops that were destroyed by locusts, and floods and droughts and, excuse me, all the rioting going on. And it's not protesting, it's rioting. There's a difference. Protesting is peaceful. Yeah, you walk down the street, you say what you got to say, and you leave. You don't destroy another person's property. Do you think, while God is watching you destroy another person's property, do you think that God thinks that you're the victim or the victimizer? What about that person? What if that person only had that one thing, like, say, a car, right? Now you set their car on fire. Now what do? Meanwhile, they're making payments on the car, right? Is that good or is that evil? How can you do that to someone you don't even know? I mean, just because the media tells you that people are this way or people are that. And while we're on that subject, do you think the media is godly or evil? And let's go one step further. How about people who call themselves ministers? Do you think that, or reverends, okay, would a reverend of God talk about destroying other people, harming other people? Or would a reverend of God talk about peace and love? Think about it. And then think about the media besides. Like, I don't even want to get into media. That's another whole video, okay? But the questions of the day are, what do you think God thinks of what you have done? Or are doing? Or what do you think God sees? Do you think he sees your heart? Do you think he sees your heart as good, or do you think he sees your heart as evil? I mean, this is a human experience. So, we all have our shortcomings, right? We all get tempted at times. That's the whole thing, right? Satan's going to tempt you. It's yours to make the choice. Am I going to do what Satan tells me to do, or am I going to do what God would want me to do? So it comes down to choice and whether or not you believe in God. And really, like, how can you see, how can you do harm to other people, like set out deliberately? I think there's a difference, okay? I think if you lose your temper because you've dealt with hours of nonsense and you like kind of snap, I think there's a difference between that and deliberately setting out to torment somebody for hours. You understand what I'm saying? There's like a difference there. It's intention. If you're deliberately doing and you're intending to harm somebody, then I don't think that's going to be judged too lightly. But, if you snap after being tormented for hours and decades and stuff like that, I think that might be a little bit more forgiving because you don't want to do that. You just lose it. You lose your temper. So I'm just saying that. I could be wrong. I'm not God. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. I don't know, things to think about. Like, how would you want God to perceive you? What are your thoughts? What goes on in your heart? What do you do to other people? Or what do you do for other people? Do you help other people? Or do you tear them down? We're supposed to lift each other up, right? We're supposed to love each other. We're not supposed to destroy each other. That's Satan. Satan destroys. Satan also wants you to be depressed. Satan wants you to think that you're not good enough, that God can't love you. Okay? So, and I'm not a minister. I'm just going by what I was taught and reading the Bible, It says many times that the second most important commandment is to love one another. So I don't see people loving one another these days. I see people hating one another these days, and that's not good. So maybe it's time that we all sit and reflect and like just stop busying ourselves, stop watching TV, just spend some time thinking like, wow, what do I do? What do I do? Do I hold the door for somebody behind me, or do I let it slam? I hold the door. It's choice. Do I say hello to people, or you? I do. If I see somebody walking down the street, can't smile now because we have to wear a mask. But yeah, I say hello to people. Sometimes they say hello back, sometimes they don't. But you can uplift somebody. Like if you like somebody's hair, you can tell them, hey, you got really nice hair. Or, you never know what somebody else is going through. You really don't. And I know there's that meme, but you really have no clue of what another person is going through. So who are you to judge? You're not supposed to judge, right? You're not supposed to judge anybody. But yet, there's a whole lot of that going on. There's a whole lot of hate going on. There's a whole lot of fear porn going on, like the media, for instance. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, the questions of the day. The question I guess the most important question of the day is, how do you want God to see you? And I'm going to leave it with a quote from Gandhi, which says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And also, Jesus says, "Do unto others as you would have done unto you." On that note, I'm going to finish my creme brulee coffee from Walmart. It's very good, actually, if you never tried it. And I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it makes somebody think out there, because we're not going down a very good road these days. We're really not. So, be the change you wish to see in the world. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.